Today, I want to talk about the annoying topic of what do you do when your friends or your families they don't understand the struggles that you're going through. So it doesn't really matter what type of struggles you're doing this in. If it's social anxiety, having struggle with self-esteem, or lack of social skills. The truth is, it's very isolating when you're going through all these things because you're struggling with human interactions. And it's so crippling because, one, it's hard to ask for help, and people just don't really understand what you're going through, especially if you have friends or families that don't struggle with it, or they take that social skills or ability to be able to go up and talk to people doing daily things for granted. When you couldn't do all those things and you struggle with them, it's really hard for other people to relate to you and not treat it like it's nothing. And one of the things is that you may start to feel very different than other people because they don't struggle with what you have. You struggle with it. I mean, I can totally relate to this when I was just mainly doing things by myself. And it might ultimately end to you feeling like, wow, this world just wants me to fail. I was not made for this world. I was made to be an outsider. And this is why it's so hard sometimes to deal with things when you're isolated, and especially the people that you count on to help you, they don't really understand it and they're not helping you. Like, how many times have you heard, oh, just get over it. Stop being dumb. Just do it. Like, these are the things that people usually say because they don't really understand. And the worst part is they don't really understand what's going in your mind. If they can read your mind, everything be so much easier. But if you can talk to them in the first place, that will solve all the problems, right? So that's the paradox. Is that the right word for it? that's the yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. Catch 22 of what's going on here because you want to reach out for help, you want to improve, but you can't. And I'm basically here to encourage you to not give up because isolation is hard. I feel like as people, we're made to interact with other people. And that's something I don't think it's bad to have. And we shouldn't be questioning our own existence in this world. And rather, if we have a place to belong, it's a matter of if we are able to correctly assess ourselves so that we can get back into community and make friendships with other people that we can enjoy, just like everyone else. So now I'm going to talk about the concept of how to get through this. So stick with me for a little bit. I'm going to talk about this from more of an overview standpoint and then get into the details. To get through this, you basically need to understand that there is going to be movement in your life. If you're progressing through something, if you can see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, you will keep going. It will motivate you. It will drive you. If you can see progress, movement, that you are improving in some way, that will fuel you to keep on going. And that is what you really need to focus on when you're motivating yourself to break out of whatever that cycle is. When you do that, that will really change the whole game. Because think about it this way. Let's say you really have this drive to improve, and then you go out and you read articles, you watch videos like this one, and then you really push yourself to go out there and try. But then you still feel the same results. The same things still happen, and you don't really understand why it's happening. You come back, you feel discouraged. Maybe you try that a few more times. You ask for advice, but then it's all little bits here and there. And you feel like basically nothing is working out. It's draining you. When you are in that state of despair, that's when you feel like nothing is going to work out. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not breaking out of this, and I don't see any progress anywhere. That is what gets people to want to give up. And that's the place I don't want you to be in. This is why I've developed the 14-day meditation challenge, where this is something that I was going to help you get started with social anxiety, if that's what you're struggling with. To help you really understand and separate that emotion that you're feeling of being reactive and sometimes feeling a little too sensitive. This is what meditation does in terms of how it separates and allows you to observe your thoughts and to be more at peace and be able to feel that emotion but not be reactive towards it. Meditation works because it's a very powerful tool of self-reflection. You don't need to be a doctor or professionally licensed to do this. You can just do this at your home. I'm mainly doing this because I understand how frustrating it is when you have nothing to go off on. You have no idea what to do, and you don't stick around enough for this to become a habit. When you're just starting to feel the positive effects, then you just drop off. That's hard. You don't want to stop just there. You want to feel the momentum and then keep on going. When you feel that progress, like what I'm talking about, you feel that hope, you can keep on driving yourself so that you'll keep on learning, growing, and then be able to finally get into community, have a close group of friends, and maybe go date if you want to. So the link is down below in the descriptions if you are interested in checking it out. But this is something that I want to really go about helping people to do, I guess. To push this point a little further, I remember about the study that I read about on some mice, where you have these scientists, and basically they put two sets of rats, like control group and then your experimental group, where in the control group, they, or at least I think it's a control group, they put mice on in the middle of the water and then let them swim until they can't swim anymore. But for the experimental group, they did at the same thing. They dropped mice in the water and just let them swim. But the water level, it's just high enough so that the mice, they can kind of touch, their feet can barely touch the bottom. So the mice can kind of scratch the bottom so that they can feel it. So they can kind of stand up a little bit and still breathe, but not completely breathe. Then the scientists took both the mice and then put them in just water overall. The same water and without a touchable ground. And what they have found is that the experimental group was managed to swim for much, much longer, hours and hours longer than the control group. And to me, the conclusion here is basically the experimental group, they felt hope. They feel and they understand that, oh, there's a possibility that I'll be saved. There's a possibility I can stay alive. So they are willing to push through that much further. And the mentality you have in terms of able to reach out, to keep on trying different things, to keep on growing, which I definitely feel like it's possible. That's what we need to be doing. And I hope you're inspired. I hope that you want to grow and don't think that you'll be stuck in the same place for a long time. Because as long as you keep on pushing in the right way, of course, you will get through. On a practical level, when you're interacting with your family or close friends and feels like they don't really understand, don't be discouraged, because it's natural that they don't understand. And rather than spending all your energy into being frustrated, angry at the fact that they just don't understand and it feels like they're just against you all the time, use that energy to try to learn, to try to grow, to reach out, even though it's incredibly scary. Like here, like in this channel, I try to make it as easy as possible for you to ask questions and try to address different issues. And there are like tons of different internet resources that you can read. But don't just put the bits and pieces together to try little things here and there, and then avoid the hard things that will really help you change. Ask questions, grow, learn, spend all your energy here so that in the long run, in the long-term game, you can actually become a person that can just have a normal life just like everyone else. Be able to enjoy friendships, go on vacations, and all the other things. Because we are resilient people. I mean, the worst feeling is being in the same exact place after like 20 years. At that point, it's horrible to feel that feeling of regret. So take action, keep on growing, keep on learning, ask questions, and don't be afraid or anxious, because I think there's a lot of good people out there, and there are a lot of people that want to help, and they will give good resources and advices to basically help you get to the next level. So that is it. Stay strong, stay safe with the current world. Be healthy. Yeah, and drink water. I'll talk to you guys next time.